At the recently held PLP convention, Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris responded to his two Team Unity coalition colleagues who, among other issues, pointed fingers at him for not implementing an equitable share of the citizenship by investment revenue to the Nevis Island administration. Both CCM and PAM have accused their PLP partner, Prime Minister Harris, who is also the Minister of Finance, of not delivering on the equitable share to Nevis, according to the agreed Charleston Accord that created the framework for a Team Unity administration. According to Harris, Clause 110 of the St. Kitts and Nevis Constitution provides the mechanism by which revenue sharing would occur between the two islands. However, except for a brief period in the 1980s, the mechanism has not worked. After 7 years of a Team Unity administration, Prime Minister Harris says the matter is more complex than it appears and is now speaking about an independent entity needed to resolve the issue to remain within the constitutional limits.
The issues that have been raised, they are not beyond resolution, but they have to be resolved properly. And under the Team Unity administration, Nevis has received the best treatment in its history. I, as the leader of the team, have gone where no other leader has. And Nevis is better for my leadership of the Federation at this time. Clause 110, and you must read it. It is the predominant legal basis on which allocations between the two islands should take place. Clause 110 was never allowed to work. Will those who have been there explain to the country as we search for resolution why Clause 110 never worked? Never was allowed to work. But it is the law of the land. It is the supreme law of the land. And the supreme law of the land is the cardinal basis of our good governance agenda. And so we have to look at that and ensure that what we are doing falls squarely in order with 110. I am trying my very best to be fair to the people of my father's land in Nevis.
Having such a stormy PAM convention supported by the CCM, especially on the CBI revenue sharing issue, remains unclear at this time if the three coalition parties could or would stick together for an extended period of time. Glenn Barrett reporting for SKN Newsline.
The countdown to the St. Kitts Music Festival started with the release party on Friday night at the Splash restaurant at the Royal St. Kitts Hotel.
This year, we promise you 3 energetic nights of world-class entertainment that will leave you with an unforgettable experience. The festival will run from Thursday the 23rd to Saturday the 25th of June at the Kim Collins Athletic Stadium in Birdrock, Bastia, starting at 8 o'clock nightly. In addition to the main concert nights, the usual menu of fringe events will be showcased, including Escape on Wednesday the 22nd of June and White Sands on Sunday the 26th of June. Other major fringe activities will also be featured from as early as May. Our committee has worked tirelessly to fashion a lineup that is consistent with the high standards we have exhibited since 1996. I'm therefore very confident that the roster of artists that will be unveiled tonight will not only excite you, but also brighten your spirits after 2 long years of entertainment drought. While we have again packaged a list of some of the best entertainers in the world appearing on each of the nights of the festival, our committee and the Ministry of Tourism have decided not to increase the nightly ticket prices. Therefore, all nightly tickets will remain at only US $50 or EC $135.
This year's lineup on Thursday, June 23rd, Bungie Garlin, Faye Lyons, Destra, Nadia Baston, Lyrical, Voice, Massacre, Ruckus HE, Grandmasters, Small Axe Band, and New Vibes. On Friday, June 24th, Ashanti, Wale, Sean Paul, Maxi Priest, Anthony B, Shaniel Muir, iMark, Highlight, and Dijon. And on the 25th, Beres Hammond, Keisha Cole, Rotimi, Jada Kingdom, Christopher Martin, Baron Messiah, Vanell Powell, and Popcorn. The St. Kitts Music Festival will be held from June 23rd to the 25th, 2022. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline. Why cook on a Sunday? Come have lunch at Jamrock Restaurant in Frigate Bay. Jamrock offers an eclectic menu of some of the finest dishes, sumptuous appetizers, delicious entrees, soups, and one of the best drink menus any restaurant has to offer. Open for lunch on Sundays at 12 noon. And stick around or come back later for Sunday night karaoke. Jamrock is where to be on a Sunday. Check them out on the other days of the week. They are open every day. Jamrock Restaurant. Call 662-9973. Come rock with us at Jamrock.
Nestled between evergreen mountains and the Caribbean Sea on the island of St. Kitts is the Millhouse Guest House and Convention Center. With breathtaking views, a rugged, beautiful shoreline, and immaculate manicured gardens make this the perfect location for your holiday, event, or wedding. With a large convention center, apartments with balconies providing stunning views, and a secluded cottage for larger family groups or honeymooning couples looking for some privacy. We have something for everyone. Book your stay at www.millhouseskn.com or visit our Facebook page, the Millhouse Guest House and Convention Center, an oasis of tranquility.
Smart Electronics and Island Electronics. Get cell phones starting from $199, smartwatches, and earpods on special. Get a great phone case with purchases over $500. Come to Smart Electronics and Island Electronics for the best deals in electronics, gadgets, and appliances. Visit Smart Electronics at Port Zante or Island Electronics on 4th Street. Call 667-3350 for Island Electronics or 466-4271 for Smart Electronics. Both stores open at 8:30 a.m. Two stores, one great experience. The Team Unity Coalition as is should be disbanded and either reformed between the People's Action Movement and Concerned Citizens Movement or have fresh elections. That is the view of political analyst and social commentator Duncan Big Lice Watley.
The unity construct is not working the way it ought to work. And so I believe the best thing to do is to go back to the drawing board and go back to the electorate and let them give us another mandate. But what we have now definitely is not working. You will recognize that the jabbing continues. And even though he's saying out of one side of his mouth that unity is the only way, the only option, on the other side, you could see that he's setting up himself for his party to run independently. And you could see it as clear as day. So I don't see how this could work. I don't see how Deputy Sean and his people, how the Minister for Measles, Mr. Bradley, could sit down with Timothy Harris again in the cabinet and soberly make laws for this country. It would be a detriment to us as the people. And so I believe the people ought to demand that we go back to the polls because this is not working, it's not acceptable.
Mr. Watley said the two political conventions of PAM and the People's Labour Party on the weekend reiterates his view that there is no path of return for the Team Unity Coalition.
Well, I think, PAM and CCM would always commit to unity because it's two parties. And they are the ones to me that they are allied together. To me, they are in the same situation where they support each other. That is unity. But there's a disconnect when it comes to PLP. And so if they say that they could be unity, I guess they're thinking that they could go along without PLP. I personally I haven't heard them say they're going to break it up. But at the same time, you could see from things that they say and gather that all is not well. And when Sean said it's not going to be business as usual after Monday and those kind of things, you will believe that something will have to give, because I see Timothy standing his ground and want to maintain a status quo. And Sean and now and Mark, they're getting fed up of what is going on.
There has been much discussion in the public domain on the future of Team Unity in light of pronouncement by the leaders of the coalition, indicating issues among the coalition partners, something the Prime Minister alluded to during his party's convention on Saturday. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.
Tourism accommodation on St. Kitts is a matter that needs further attention, according to the Minister of Tourism, Lindsay Grant. During a March press conference, Minister Grant said it was time to consider a different approach to the matter of accommodation in the tourism sector, even as the Tourism Authority continues to work with existing hoteliers.
When we looked at the numbers quite recently, we are down in terms of the number of rooms available in St. Kitts. And it's the chicken and the egg, because depending on the rooms available affects the position of flights coming into St. Kitts and Nevis, and so that's a challenge. In fact, that's one of the issues I raised with my team just this week, and one of the first orders of business to reach back out to our stakeholders to get an indication from them their state of readiness in terms of being able to accept visitors. You would recognize we have one or two right here in Frigate Bay, which have been at a standstill for some time. We don't know fully the state of readiness of the Ramada. So we have our work cut out, really. And I think really that's something that we have to look to in the future, and which I've spoken to my team about also. I think it's not only about individuals and developers coming out and putting down hotels. I think we've passed that. I think before we allow them to put down hotels, they need to come to the table, to the government, and to indicate the type of hotel they're building, and to see if it's in conformity with our vision. Because there's a bit of a disconnect with some of them. And that's the challenge we're going to face. But that's water that's water under the bridge. But I think moving forward, there must be a meeting of the minds between developers and the government.
The COVID-19 pandemic placed new challenges in tourism and travel while providing new opportunities for developing tourism-oriented countries. Glenn Bart reporting for SKN Newsline.
Online radio has never been this great. It's Voice of the Caribbean Radio at voiceofthecaribbean.net. Tune into Voice of the Caribbean Radio for great Caribbean programs, news, entertainment, sports, and current affairs. Wake up each morning and be inspired with One Day at a Time with Kim Huey. Stay abreast with news across the Caribbean and internationally with the Caribbean News Hour, and be entertained with shows like Reggaeville, Caribbean Classics, and Jive Music Show. Visit our website, download our Android mobile app, or listen us on TuneIn Radio. There is so much more on Voice of the Caribbean Radio, reaching the Caribbean and beyond. Check website or app for program schedule.
Are you ready to create high-performing TV commercials?
Ready.
Ready. Ready.
Create and tell compelling stories. Reach your target audience. And build brand awareness. Our strategies and execution will provide for your desired outcome and clearly represent your brand. Visit us at www.madebyopen.com and get started on your creative video commercial today. Lights, camera, Open Interactive.
Auto Plus Car Wash, located on the College Street Gut, Bastille, St. Kitts. Bring your car to Auto Plus Car Wash to remove water stains, wiper marks. Get your doors, roof panel cleaned, seat floor mats, buffing, headlights, and engine wash. You get quality service at the best price at Auto Plus Car Wash. They really care for your car. Call 765-5140 or visit them on the College Street Gut, Bastille, St. Kitts. Auto Plus Car Wash, where the service is number one.
Aviation Minister Sir Robin Yearwood and acting head of France's diplomatic mission to the OECS, Marc Mathieu, signed the agreement at the Prime Minister's office Monday morning. The French representative says the document modernizes the country's air services arrangement.
This agreement defines a new bilateral legal framework in line with European law, including modern clauses on safety, security, and fair competition.
He says the agreement sets out a predefined number of air frequencies and provides a precise route schedule.
Antigua and Barbuda has designated 2 airlines, Liat and Calvin Air Helicopters, to operate on the routes agreed with the French. The French have in turn designated 4 airlines, that is Air France, Air Antilles, Sembat Commuter, and Sembat Executive to operate services on their behalf. With the exception of Air France, all of these airlines already currently operate into Antigua and Barbuda. We look forward to seeing Air France very shortly.
Sir Robin says he hopes the agreement, which is the first between France and an OECS member state, will lead to enhanced partnerships between the designated airlines. Jamie J. Roche, ABS News.
This was revealed by the Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, during Monday's edition of his daily COVID-19 update.
We have, from the ministry point of view, we have seen a decline in people coming for testing. We have also noticed a decline in vaccination. And that can be a little bit problematic because we still need more people to be vaccinated.
Minister Anthony, while again pleading for persons to return for the second jab as well as booster doses, said that his ministry continues to record a relatively high number of first doses being administered in a number of regions, while second dose administration continues to lag.
Second dose, we still have a challenge, and booster doses, we still have a far way to go. So this is something that we want to encourage people, that even with the lull that we have right now, that we should encourage persons to be vaccinated.
However, it must be noted that the decline in COVID-19 testing rates at the Ministry of Health testing sites is a contributing factor to the consistent decline in reported cases in Guyana. The minister also related that since the removal of the COVID-19 safety measures, the National Task Force has also relaxed its monitoring protocols of businesses.
Because we have eased some of the measures, the task force is not as stringent in its monitoring, but we still do encourage people to take precautions.
President Ali on March 14 removed the national COVID-19 safety measures, which included the mandatory mask wearing, restrictions on social activities, gatherings, and the provision of proof of vaccination and entering public buildings. Additionally, the 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. countrywide curfew was previously lifted in February. There are now 336,228 local adults who are doubly vaccinated. For the adolescent cohort, this figure stands at 24,938. Reporting for the HB Nightly News, Joel Vogt.
For the second time in 4 months, an attempt to remove Pedro Castillo from office ends in failure. The president saying the impeachment trial was baseless.
Everyone knows that it does not contain a single element that sustains it. We only find words in the motion that have no corroboration. There is speculation, imaginary connections, that don't support facts and the law.
In his brief defense, the president denied involvement in graft allegations, but his opponents say otherwise.
The corruption that many defend grant his accomplices millionaire bids. The prosecution says he has been involved in influence peddling.
Analysts say the 20-part impeachment motion was weak. The corruption allegations are still under investigation by prosecutors.
It has yet to be proven. There has been no evidence. We deserve respect.
The session was marked by interruptions and insults and was briefly suspended. Outside, hundreds of riot police stopped protesters from getting close. Castillo's supporters said he must be allowed to govern.
He was democratically elected and must be respected. It's a legitimate government. Those delinquents are trying to oust him.
Castillo's short 8-month-long government has been mired in controversy. A poll found 50% of Peruvians want him gone.
Castillo's the 5th president in the last 6 years. It's no wonder Peruvians are fed up with Peru's political class. Castillo has said he has made mistakes, but Peruvians are increasingly frustrated, and many say they don't want to wait for Castillo to correct his mistakes.
He's a delinquent. Castillo has no morals. He has lied. He doesn't run a good government. He is a shame.
The session lasted more than 8 hours, but the impeachment had lost steam before it started. Opponents were unable to get Castillo's allies to flip their votes. Now, Castillo says it's time to turn the page. But if not now, opponents say they will find a way to remove him from office. Mariana Sánchez, Al Jazeera, Lima, Peru.
Coach of the senior men's national team, Austin Deco Huggins, was satisfied with the performance of his team despite a 1-0 loss to Andorra on Friday. In Andorra, Jay Alies of Andorra scored the lone goal just moments before halftime in the 46th minute. The Sugar Boys hit the upright and the crossbar twice during the match, the latter from star striker Keith Roy Freeman in the early part of the second half.
The players, they were up for the challenge. They were well motivated and they played exactly how I wanted them to play in terms of our tactics. Defensively, we were quite well, but we made a blunder in the last minute also in the first half, just before we got inside. Come back out for the second half, but we made some adjustments and we came out with a different mentality and we were able to hold them to 1-0 in the second half. But yeah, we performed well in my estimation.
Coach Huggins said the main objectives of the match were achieved from the performance of the team.
We are satisfied. It's a nice place. We had good treatment from the people of Andorra. We want to thank them for their hospitality and the way how they treated us. It was great. The guys also, they behaved themselves well as true ambassadors of Sacred, so we are very proud of them. And they should use this opportunity as a way of gaining valuable exposure and experience, which I know they will, and then we could go from strength to strength as we go along into our nation leagues.
With the Andorra match in the bag, the Sugar Boys now turn their attentions to intense training as they prepare for the upcoming CONCACAF Nations League.
Welcome to the SKN Newsline Weather Report. I am Janil Boone. Here is a look at the 4-day forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. For a more detailed weather report, visit our website at www.sknnewsline.com.